If you follow CD Lamb on social media, you've probably noticed that he's working out vigorously ahead of the upcoming season. Fresh off leading the NFL in catches last season and finishing second in receiving yards, the Dallas Cowboys superstar is hungrier than ever to prove his greatness. You are watching the Big D Breakdown on the Highwire Media Network. I'm your host, as always, Larry Leese, and today we're diving into the latest headlines from around the industry. And with that, we dive into our first topic. A Cowboys insider is setting the record straight on Dak Prescott's contract demands. It was initially reported after the 2023 season that the Cowboys would sign Dak Prescott to an extension before free agency. This would have freed up some $28 million in cap space, but the Cowboys' track record with handing out contracts to star players suggested the timeline was a pipe dream. 3 months later, there's been no reported progress in negotiations, though both sides understand the urgency to get a deal done before the season. Talks have been described as passive. While the Cowboys twiddle their thumbs, the quarterback market continued evolving. This offseason, Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence have inked extensions with the Lions and Jaguars respectively. Goff signed for $53 million per year, while Lawrence got $55 million annually, which ties him with Joe Burrow for the highest salary among quarterbacks. That begs the question of what Prescott will command. NFL media insider Ian Rappaport reported over the weekend Prescott wants $60 million per year. That's been the expected number all along, but Clarence Hill Jr. of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram shot that down quickly. The truth of the matter is Prescott has no tag and no trade clauses as part of his current deal. He'll also cost the Cowboys $40 million in dead money if he doesn't sign a new contract by next March. That, combined with the crystal clear evidence that Prescott has accomplished more than Lawrence, provides a very realistic path for his final number to be $60 million. Furthermore, the Packers and Jordan Love and the Dolphins and Tua are embroiled in contract talks. Both Love and Tua are expected to get north of $50 million per year. If they sign before Prescott, which is very much in the realm of possibility, his price will climb even further. Prescott would have his pick of teams if he were to reach free agency. The Cowboys likely couldn't compete with his market in that scenario. It stands to reason that the teams desperate for a franchise quarterback would offer Prescott upwards of $65 million per year to win a potential bidding war. Barring an unexpected twist, Prescott will be in Dallas for the foreseeable future. When the two sides find common ground remains to be seen, but it's important to know that Prescott has not set a $60 million baseline, even if that's the most likely outcome. And hey, before we move on, give us a thumbs up if you want to keep Prescott in Dallas. And don't forget that subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification button to be notified of future videos. And with that, we dive into our next topic. PFF is sounding the alarm on Cowboys defensive linemen after only one season. They want results, and they want them now. To interact with Pro Football Focus is the dance of fine line. On one hand, they pump out a ton of content that's incredibly useful. Their grades, the bane of many people's existence, are great. And I bet every single one of your favorite football writers use their interactive free agency database. On the other hand, they occasionally throw up a heat check that makes you sort of agree with their loudest critics. Their latest, a list of 10 NFL players that are under pressure to perform in year 2, it's probably more the latter. Year 2. And sure, we're just saying that in part because a Cowboys player showed up on the list. I'm not too proud to admit that. But PFF seems overwhelming out on Mozzie Smith already, and that's just a place I'm not ready to go with any NFL player after one single season. Excuse me. And here's what they said, quote, Dallas drafted Smith, decried as a reach by some at the time in the first round to finally solve the weak underbelly the team's defense had against the run over the past few years. Smith weighed 323 pounds at the combine, and the one thing he excelled at in college was stuffing the run and anchoring the middle of the line. The Cowboys inexplicably then asked him to drop a ton of weight and seemed confused when he made little impact as a rookie. The Cowboys know they need more from him in 2024, with Jerry Jones himself saying he has to do a lot better in year 2. There's no denying that Smith's rookie season was underwhelming. He only started 3 games, had 1 sack, and 13 tackles. That's basically one very good game for Micah Parsons. But Smith just turned 23, and again, for the 1 billionth time, it was 1 season. Even rookies with great seasons are expected to be better in year 2. That's how it works. We all love PFF, but this ain't it. That being said, you're not wrong about all the other NFC East guys on this list being busts. And now on to our next topic. The Cowboys could be on the brink of bolstering the running back room with a recent Super Bowl hero. Even after a heartfelt reunion with Ezekiel Elliott this offseason, the Dallas Cowboys running back room is under the microscope. Running back is arguably the worst area of the roster, as Zeke was a step slower in New England last season, and nobody else in the room has proven to be a true bell cow back. That isn't to say Dallas can't surprise the league and roll out a productive rushing attack, but it is hard to be overly excited about what the team has to offer. If there's any team in the league that could use a veteran flyer ahead of training camp, it is the Cowboys. If Dallas is truly interested in a veteran flyer for training camp, then there is a prominent name who seems like a possibility. Free agent running back Leonard Fournette is reportedly in the best shape of his life, and the writing is on the wall for him to join an NFL team to try and make a roster. Leonard Fournette is not going to come in and completely turn the Cowboys running back room upside down. In fact, there's a good chance Leonard would not even make the 53-man roster if the Cowboys were going to sign him to a flyer deal. That being said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with adding an extra veteran to the room during camp to see what he has. If running back was an area of strength for the Cowboys, it would be pointless, but that is not the reality. Fournette could surprise the team and actually produce something in 2024. The timing of the post from Adam Schefter and the fact that his agent said he will be on a team soon is suspicious. NFL insiders like Schefter do not post random free agent updates for absolutely no reason. There is some kind of intel he was receiving that Fournette's agent wants him to share. Just like when it was randomly reported that Tony Jefferson was coming out of retirement earlier this offseason, and a week later he signed with the Chargers. If Schefter is reporting about Fournette now, then there is a good chance there is some interested party lining up. And that interested party very well could be the Cowboys. Dallas has taken flyers on veterans in the past, and there's absolutely no harm in doing so again. And now on to the next topic. The Cowboy fans are more worried after Dak Prescott's troubling injury update. The storyline around Prescott's upcoming contract extension took a brief pause over the weekend after Prescott was seen in Cabo wearing a walking boot. This prompted Cowboy fans to panic while Prescott's team quickly cleaned up, telling reporters he was no longer in the boot. While it was a real injury scare at first, Prescott's injury no longer seems severe, and Cowboy fans have seen their worry subside. That is, until Prescott spoke to media and provided an update on why he was wearing the walking boot in the first place. During the football camp he hosted on Tuesday, Prescott spoke to reporters and explained why he was in the boot. According to the star quarterback, he was simply wearing the boot as a precautionary measure after some pain arose following 2 hard workouts. Little did he know, Prescott was giving an answer that should not only spark more concern for Cowboy fans, but could have an impact on his current contract extension talk with the team. While Prescott was attempting to downplay the injury as simply being pain to his surgically repaired ankle, this kind of intel is not what fans should have wanted to hear. If this is merely a new small tweak to his foot, then it would be one thing. However, this is pain to an old injury that Prescott had surgery on years ago. If Prescott is already having pain working out during the offseason to his surgically repaired ankle, then what is going to happen once the season comes into swing? 2 hard workouts will become much more common during this season. And if Prescott has lingering pain in his ankle, it will be a problem. Prescott seems fine and healthy now, as it truly does appear like it was something small he was being precautionary with, especially with extension talks going on. But even with it being small, Prescott still managed to add more fear to Cowboy fans who now have to pay close attention to how much he favors that ankle throughout the entire 2024 season. And who knows how Dallas feels through all of this. The Cowboys are going to have to give Prescott record-setting money on a new deal, and if there are lingering injury concerns, then Prescott may not get the contract he is looking for. Yet another wrinkle to pay attention to during the Cowboys' 2024 season. And now, for our next topic, we're going to dive into CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys' CeeDee Lamb contract debacle is about to get much worse. CeeDee Lamb is ready to send a message to the Cowboys. If you follow CeeDee Lamb on social media, you've probably noticed that he's working out vigorously ahead of the upcoming season. Fresh off leading the NFL in catches last season and finishing second in receiving yards, the Dallas Cowboys superstar is hungrier than ever to prove his greatness. It's been a while since Lamb has shared the field with his Cowboys teammates. Seeking a new contract, Lamb was absent for voluntary spring workouts. He then accumulated more than $100,000 in fines for skipping mandatory minicamp. Neither absence was considered a big deal. Lamb isn't the first extension-eligible star to bypass spring practices, and he won't be the last. Fellow wide receivers Brandon Ayuk and T. Higgins also skipped their team's minicamp as they await new deals. Again, not at all consequential. With training camp fast approaching, though, the Cowboys' proverbial chickens are coming home to roost. The Dallas Morning News reporting that Lamb is prepared to sit out training camp without a new deal in place. Lamb's decision hasn't ruffled feathers among his coaches or teammates. Head coach Mike McCarthy has stated that Lamb has been engaged with the Cowboys throughout the offseason. Lamb has also kept in touch with Dak Prescott, so it's not like he's alienated himself amid his holdout. However, it's concerning nonetheless that we've reached the point that Lamb is going to miss the start of the season, which is hugely important for the upcoming season. Jerry Jones wants to see more leaves fall before giving extensions to Lamb and Prescott. We're not so sure that the trees in reference have any more shedding to do. While a few quarterbacks have signed lucrative deals this offseason, a barrage of wide receivers have inked new contracts. The Eagles' A.J. Brown and Lions' Amon-Ra St. Brown both got more than $30 million per year, before Justin Jefferson reset the market with a lofty $35 million annual salary. Additionally, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Nico Collins, and Michael Pittman all re-upped with their current teams. Even Calvin Ridley got an even $23 million per year from the Titans as a free agent. Lamb is rightfully tired of coming in at discount. There's no sense for Lamb to be present at training camp if he isn't going to practice. Why risk injury before he becomes potentially the richest non-quarterback in league history? Lamb is well within his rights to skip the start of camp. It is shameful on the part of the front office that they've let it come to this. Let me know in the comments section below. Do you think we should keep CeeDee Lamb or trade him and get some younger, better talent? I mean, I know he is good for the Cowboys, but perhaps we just need to let him go. Or we let him go and give Prescott an extension. Let me know your thoughts. And now on to our next topic. We're going to take a look at 3 of the most unbreakable Dallas Cowboys records in history. These Cowboy records may never be broken. We're going to take a look at 3 Dallas Cowboy records that may never be broken. Records are meant to be broken. Just last season, CeeDee Lamb set the Dallas Cowboys record for catches and receiving yards in a single season. The previous holder belonged to Hall of Famer Michael Irvin, who set them in 1995. So Irvin's record stood for nearly 30 years. Given Lamb's trajectory, he could break his own record this upcoming season. Several other Cowboy records could get broken in the near future. Dak Prescott is some 5,000 passing yards and 46 touchdowns away from supplanting Tony Romo atop the record books. Given that Romo's successor is on the verge of shattering his passing records, is it fair to assume that any record can be broken? The answer is a resounding no. With that, we're going to take a look at some of the most unbreakable records in Cowboys history. Starting off at number 3, DaRon Bland's 5 pick sixes in a season. It would be overly shocking if Bland's record got challenged in the future. The NFL is such a pass-happy league now that the pick-six opportunities will be aplenty. Ironically, though, no player since the Eagles' Eric Allen in '93 has managed 4 pick sixes in a season. Before Allen, you have to go all the way back to the Chiefs' Jim Kearney in 1972 and the Oilers' Ken Houston in 1971. Most defensive backs would be satisfied with a 5 interception season. Interceptions aren't the true testament of an elite corner, but most of the NFL's current top cornerbacks don't have crazy interception numbers. In no order, that group features Sauce Gardner, Patrick Surtain, Charvarius Ward, and Trent McDuffie. Between them, they have a combined 6 interceptions and 1 pick six last season. Marcus Peters is the most recent defender to flirt with the record when he notched 3 pick sixes in 2019. Only 6 players since 2009 have returned 3 interceptions for touchdowns in a season. Peters, Charles Woodson, Charles Tillman, Darren Sharper, William Gay, and Janoris Jenkins. That should create a greater appreciation for Bland's 2023 season. Next up, Tom Landry's 29-year run as Cowboys head coach. There's no way anybody has beaten this. Only 4 head coaches have more career wins than Landry. Don Shula at 347, Bill Belichick at 333, George Hollis at 323, and Andy Reid at 284. In terms of the Cowboys, no head coach may top Landry's 270 career wins. Jason Garrett is second in franchise history with 87 career wins. That says it all. It's also fair to assume that Landry's record of 20 consecutive winning seasons is safe. The Patriots came close under Bill Belichick when they rattled off 19 straight winning seasons from 2001 to 2019. The Chiefs have 10 straight winning seasons and could challenge Landry's record if Patrick Mahomes stays healthy. However, no head coach is going to last 30 years with a single franchise. Curly Lambeau also coached the Packers for 29 seasons, but no coach has more than 29 years with one team. Belichick was with the Patriots for 24 seasons, and Shula lasted 24 years with the Dolphins. The longest tenured active coaches are Mike Tomlin with 17 seasons, John Harbaugh at 16 seasons, Andy Reid in 11 years. It will be impressive if they reach the 20-year plateau, let alone challenge Landry's 29-year record. And number 1, Emmitt Smith's 18,355 career rushing yards. Landry's 270 wins as Cowboys head coach will be tough to beat, but nobody will come close to topping Emmitt Smith's 18,355 career rushing yards. Incredibly, Smith broke Walter Payton's rushing record in 2002 and went on to play 2 more seasons to cement his rushing tally as unbreakable. Smith's record is likely safe both on a Cowboy scale and a national scale. Frank Gore is the most recent running back to break 16,000 career rushing yards, and he played an unprecedented 16 seasons. Not only is the shelf life for running backs shorter than ever, but offenses don't emphasize the run game like they used to in the 2000s. That would explain why Adrian Peterson is the next closest of this generation on the all-time rushing list. Peterson is 5th all-time with 14,918 rushing yards. There isn't a single active running back in the top 25. Derrick Henry is knocking on the door, but he's nearing the end of his career and sits at 9,502 rushing yards. Meanwhile, Smith played 15 seasons and cracked 1,000 rushing yards in 11 of them. From 91 to 95, Smith rattled off 3 rushing crowns and amassed 8,019 rushing yards. That tally alone would place him 3rd on the active leaders in rushing yards. Smith's record may stand the test of time. And before we go, we'd like to shout out our affiliate of the week, and that is Good Ranchers. I want to take a moment to tell you about an incredible company that I'm really excited about. Good Ranchers. If you're like me and you love high quality meat, but you hate the hassle of trying to find the best cuts at the store, Good Ranchers is going to change your life. Good Ranchers delivers 100% American premium quality beef, chicken, and seafood right to your doorstep. What I love most is their commitment to supporting American farmers and ranchers. Every box you get is packed with meat that's sourced from the best farms in the country, ensuring you're getting top-notch quality every time. I've tried a lot of different meat delivery services, but Good Ranchers stands out for a few reasons. First, their meat's always fresh and never frozen. Plus, they have a wide variety of cuts and options to choose from. So whether you're in the mood for a juicy steak, tender chicken breast, or some delicious seafood, they got you covered. Another thing I really appreciate is their transparent pricing and subscription options. It's super easy to customize your order and schedule deliveries to fit your needs. And if you ever have any questions or need to make changes, their customer service team is always ready to help. So if you're ready to elevate your meals and support American farmers at the same time, use the link in the description and get a discount for 15% off your first order. And before we go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the bell notification button to be notified of future videos. And of course, if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/thebigd. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.